Hello guys, today we'll talk about Armenia. Make sure to watch until the end to find out why Armenia is one of the most ancient countries in the world. Before starting this video, I want to tell you that there are a lot of videos about Armenia already, but they don't cover the whole picture. Even some videos with the title History of Armenia don't go beyond the Middle Ages. So today we will try to briefly cover the entire history of Armenia from the very beginning until nowadays. In the 2nd century BC, it became part of the Roman Empire. But during the rule of Rome, Armenia had no territorial continuity and consisted of various small kingdoms which were sometimes allies of Rome and sometimes of Parthia. The Russian Empire conquered all of Armenia in the first half of the 19th century, except for the city of Yerevan, which remained under the rule of the Khayar dynasty. During this period, Christianity came to Armenia. The first king who accepted it as a state religion was Tiridates III in the year 301 AD. During this chaos, the First Republic of Armenia was proclaimed, but it was very short-lived. The next year, it was conquered by the Bolsheviks and became the Armenian Soviet Socialist Republic. In 1921, the government of the USSR officially recognized the borders of the Armenian SSR along the Arax River. Sir Sargsyan became the new president and served until 2018. In April 2018, mass protests erupted across the country over constitutional changes that would have allowed Sargsyan to extend his term. Armenia is located in the Armenian highlands in the South Caucasus region. The capital city is Urartu. The population of Armenia is about 3 million people. The official language is Armenian. The official religion is Christianity. The main sectors are mining, metallurgy, machine building, food, light, and textile industries. Agriculture is also well developed. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, and tobacco are grown in the fertile Ararat Valley. Animal husbandry is widespread, especially sheep breeding. Armenia has rich mineral resources, including gold, copper, zinc, lead, iron, ore, obsidian, and marble. People have been living here since the 9th century BC. The kingdom of Urartu was located here. The kingdom of Ani used to be one of the largest Armenian states in the medieval era. Armenia is the first country in the world to adopt Christianity as a state religion. Despite being a small country, Armenia has survived the attacks of many empires, such as the Mongols and the Ottomans. Armenia is home to many historical monuments, including the ancient monasteries of Gighard and Korvarop, as well as the ruins of the kingdom of Ani. In recent years, Armenia has faced challenges such as the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict and border disputes with neighboring countries. However, Armenia remains an important country in the region with a rich history and culture. Armenia shares borders with Turkey to the west, Georgia to the north, Azerbaijan to the east, and Iran to the south. Folk songs are usually accompanied by the duduk, a double-reed woodwind instrument with a mournful sound. The Armenian genocide and the subsequent mass exodus of the Armenian people are reflected in a genre of sad love songs called aran. Traditional dances include kokari, halaya. Armenian cuisine is similar to that of neighboring countries and features many grape dishes, as well as pilaf, dolma, kebab, and sweets made from fruits and nuts. To the southwest lies the disputed region of Nagorno-Karabakh, which is internationally recognized as part of Azerbaijan. The parents of the famous Russian Armenian singer, composer, and pianist, Aram Khachaturian, are also from Armenia. The list goes on, but is mainly populated by ethnic Armenians and has the self-proclaimed status of a republic. Armenia also controls some exclaves of Azerbaijan. As a result of the protests, Sargsyan resigned and the current Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan came to power. Mount Ararat, the highest peak of the country, is an extinct volcano whose glaciers feed the White Amuk River. Most of the rivers in the country are unregulated and have a highly seasonal flow. Lakes are also scarce in Armenia, although Lake Sevan is the largest lake in the country and the 4th largest in Eurasia. The climate of Armenia is mainly temperate with hot summers and cold winters. The average temperature in January ranges from 3 to 10 degrees Celsius. In July, the average temperature rises to 18 to 25 degrees Celsius. The driest areas are located in the south and the Ararat Valley, while the most rainfall occurs in the forests of the Lori province. In November 2020, the war between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the disputed territories of Nagorno-Karabakh took place. As a result of the war, Armenia lost several regions that were internationally recognized as part of their territory. Currently, the situation on the border between Armenia and Turkey is tense. There are frequent clashes and shelling between the two countries. the Karabakh conflict flared up again, and the self-proclaimed Republic of Artsakh was formed. But in 1994, the war ended with the help of Russia, and a ceasefire was established. In 1996, the new constitution was adopted, which proclaimed Armenia as a sovereign, democratic, secular, unitary, and social state. The capital city is Yerevan. Thus, Western Armenia, which was originally inhabited by Armenia, but at that moment was under the control of Turkey, could not become part of Soviet Armenia. Soon, the Turkish government under the leadership of the Committee of Union and Progress established full control over Armenia and eastern Anatolia. In 1945, the USSR joined the Allies who divided post-war Germany into occupation zones. Many Armenians from the Armenian SSR volunteered for the Red Army and fought on the Western Front. After the war, Armenia remained part of the U.S. In 1988, the Nagorno-Karabakh movement was launched, demanding the unification of the Nagorno-Karabakh autonomous oblast with Armenia. The movement was brutally suppressed. However, 2 years later, the Supreme Soviet of Armenia restored the autonomy of Nagorno. This caused a chain reaction, which resulted in the disintegration of the USSR. This led to the Armenian genocide, which took the lives of 1.5 million Armenians. At that time, the surviving Armenians fled to Russia, Syria, and the newly established Republic of Turkey. It was also the first state in the world to accept Christianity, but soon after, the Sassanid Persians conquered Armenia. So, let's start. We can say that the history of Armenia began around 3000 BC, because that was when the Armenian highlands became the place where people started to settle down. And soon after, in the 9th century BC, the kingdom of Urartu was formed in this region. Urartians were an Indo-European people who spoke an Armenian language. They dominated in the Armenian highlands for several centuries, but then they were conquered by the Medes and Persians. After Alexander the Great conquered the Achaemenid Empire, the Hellenistic kingdom of Armenia was formed. In the meantime, the Albanian kingdom was formed in the southern part of the highlands, which existed until the 6th century. When Muslim Arabs conquered Armenia, they adopted Islam. After Samanids and then Seljuks conquered Armenia, many of them became Turkish-speaking. But before that happened, the kingdom of Ani was formed in the north of Armenia. It lasted only a little more than a century, but it was the largest Armenian state in the medieval era. Ani became known as the city of 1,000 churches. Then the kingdom of Kiraman fell to the Mongol invasion, and soon the whole Armenian highlands became part of the Mongol Empire. The Safavid dynasty founded the kingdom of Armenia in 1502, but it was just a vassal of the Ottoman Empire. At the beginning of the 20th century, the Russian Empire disintegrated. In the meantime, Soviet Russia established the First Republic of Mountainous Armenia in 1918, but it was also very short-lived. During World War II, the Armenian SSR fought against Nazi Germany. Soon after, the Second Republic of Armenia was proclaimed. In 2008, the first president, Levin Ter-Petrosyan, resigned amid protests. And now I want to tell you about the geography of Armenia. Armenia is a landlocked country with a mountainous terrain. As for the economy of Armenia, industry plays a leading role here. Now let's talk about culture. Music and dance play an important role in the culture of Armenia. There are many famous people from Armenia. For example, Kim Kardashian, the famous American socialite, is of Armenian descent. As for my conclusion, Armenia is a cradle of civilization. This was our video about Armenia. If you like our videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you soon.